Hello everyone and welcome back to the City of Thieves. When we last left off, we just re-entered Market Street and we have found some commotion and we are going to investigate, check it out. Let's see what it's about. As we catch up with the chanting crowd, we see that they are carrying eggs and rotten tomatoes. Soon the street opens out into a large market square. All around the edge are stalls with vendors, hawkers, musicians and entertainers carrying on their business. In the middle of the square is an elevated pillory. Above the noise of the crowd, a trumpet sounds and the crowd starts to pelt the man in the pillory with rotten food. An old man standing next to us offers us 2 eggs to throw. Not wishing to appear to be the outsider, we take the eggs and hurl them. But as we do so, the old woman picks our pocket without us noticing. We lose 1 gold piece and, unaware of our loss, we walk away from the crowd to look at the various stalls. Right. Ye goody 2 shoes. And this guy's getting his money's worth, for sure. And yeah, we should never have trusted this hag here. Switch. Whatever, at the very least, the attention of the crowd, the people around is elsewhere, so let's see what we can find on this market. The food stalls are selling fruit, vegetables, meat and hot soup, corn and chestnuts for hungry shoppers. Along the west side of the square, we see a man dressed in purple velvet playing a lyre. Would we like to buy some hot food for 1 gold, please? Yes, we actually could use some refreshments. Let's see how good the food is. So we have 21 stamina points, and let's see how much healing we can get for 1 gold piece. We purchase a plate of eel pie, beans and mash for 1 gold piece. It is a delicious meal, and after licking our fingers clean of every last morsel, we feel restored. We regain 2 stamina points. Well, that is awesome. We could buy another one and get back to maximum health, but I kind of want to spare on our money. I know it's very cheap, but we would only heal 1 stamina point, so I say let's stop at 23, which is plenty, which is more than enough. And let's see what options we have. We could stop and listen to the music, or just walk past the lyrist. Let's listen to the music. I mean, it doesn't need to cost anything. The man stops playing and tells us he can bring us good fortune. For the sum of 3 gold pieces, he will sing us a song that will bring us luck. Alright, we have gold and we actually need luck, so let's see what this is all about. Let's pay the musician. The man strums his lyre and sings a merry song all about us and our good fortune. He does have the power to make us lucky. We gain 2 luck points and walk on to the next stall. Amazing. That was a bit expensive. We could have used we could have, you know, just been satisfied with just getting 1 luck point for a bit cheaper, but I guess that's the price and that's what we get. So our luck is back up at maximum again. Our next luck roll is guaranteed to succeed. So far this market has been awesome. It's been relatively cheap and very useful. A small circle of people are standing around a bare-chested man. He is enormous, and his muscles look as hard as iron. He is asking the crowd for a volunteer to play catch with a cannonball. He states that whoever drops the cannonball must pay the other 5 gold pieces. This guy has just lost, I guess, the 5 gold pieces to this hunk of meat. Alright, we're gonna play his game. Let's see if we're strong enough. We have a skill of 11, so we wish to take him on at his game. We could just ignore him, but that's not what we're here for, so let's do this. The bare-chested man laughs as he tosses the cannonball from hand to hand with ease. He then takes his position on the opposite side of the circle. To play this game, we must roll 1 die, alternatively for us and the bare-chested man, to represent the cannonball being passed between us, until a 1 is thrown, in which case the cannonball will have been dropped and the loser must pay the winner 5 gold pieces. Alright, so it seems that we have a 50-50 chance of winning or losing 5 gold pieces. That sounds exciting. Let's start the contest. With a grunt, The bare-chested man throws the cannonball in a high arc towards us. We must try and catch the ball. So I guess a bit less than 50% because we need to roll first. And we rolled a 6, so we deftly caught it. We rolled 6, so we catch the cannonball. Summoning all our strength, we catch the heavy ball and throw it back towards the bare-chested man. Will he catch it? And yes, he did. He catches the cannonball. With a grunt, the bare-chested man throws the cannonball in a high arc towards us. Yada yada. I'm not gonna read this, I'll just keep rolling until one of us rolls a 1. And we'll see who it is. Alright. So far so good. We might easily lose. Now our chances are literally 50%. And we lost. Ha! We dropped the cannonball. As the cannonball hurtles towards us, our hands do not find purchase and it bounces off the cobblestones at our feet. The crowd cheers as the bare-chested man triumphantly flexes his muscles. Admitting defeat, we hand the bare-chested man 5 gold pieces and he pumps our hand with a vigorous handshake. With the game over, we return to exploring the market. Alright, that didn't work out, but whatever, we still have 30 gold pieces and we could have won 5 more, so I guess it was worth a try. And this ought to be sufficient, at least in the near future. Behind the next stall is a young man with a pointy nose selling small weapons and items of equipment. The prices of his wares are chalked up on a slate. Would we like to buy anything from this stall? Of course. Let's see what he has. First item is a throwing knife. Purchase 1 throwing knife for 4 gold pieces. A small and nimble ranged weapon. Yes, please. Might come in handy. A climbing rope for 2 gold pieces, specially crafted for scaling surfaces. Hefting the rope in our hands, we can tell it is of good quality. Yes, please. Butcher's meat hook for 2 gold pieces. Large piece of S-shaped metal, sharp enough to pierce a carcass. Might come in handy. And not end, but still we have an iron spike for 1 gold piece. That's a steal. That once belonged to the Grand Cormorant of Fang. It's a collector's item. Special price, just for you, though, my friend. The young man says. To our eye, it looks simply like a sharp piece of metal that might come in handy later. Yes, please, for 1 gold piece, we're buying anything. And I'll take one of those lanterns for 3 gold pieces. Oil lantern made of glass and metal, a far more reliable source of light than a torch. Yes, please, that definitely can come in handy. Let's see, we have bought a whole bunch of stuff and we're down to 18 gold pieces. Hopefully, we can manage to find more in the future. We are finished, so let's continue. I think we we scoured his little stall dry. We bought every piece of equipment that he was selling, everything that looked even remotely useful to us. But I'm happy we're still not broke, so everything's fine. And if we had won that game, we would have 28 gold pieces. Alas, we need to be a bit more careful with our money. In the next stall area, there is a small, brightly colored tent. Attached to it is a sign that reads, Madame Star, Clairvoyant. Let's enter this tent. We're checking out everything here. This is, exciting and interesting. Sitting behind a small table is a plump woman wearing bright yellow clothes and a scarf over her head. She smiles as we enter, bidding us to sit down. She tells us that a glimpse of the future will cost us 2 gold pieces, and we still have enough money, so we wish to pay her to hear her predictions. Let's see if it's worth any while. Looking into a crystal ball, she seems to go into a trance. She tells us that we are seeking for a man, a wise man with magical powers. Okay, so it's clear that she knows what she's about. She pauses for a moment and then draws in a deep breath before going on to tell us that the man we are looking for lives in a hut beneath a bridge to the north. She warns us to be careful when approaching the man, for he does not welcome strangers. Then she looks away from the crystal ball and abruptly asks us to leave. Her face seems to be hiding something. Has she seen some dreadful fate awaiting us? Well, whatever, we decide to leave the tent and head north. She practically kicked us out. I'm not saying it was worth it. Well, we learned that Nicodemus supposedly lives in a hut beneath a bridge, which is not very becoming of a mage of his, or a wizard of his posture. Um, the woman might have been wrong, obviously, but I think, well, we don't have any other leads, and she clearly has some vague ideas. Anyway, we are thrown out. Let's see what else this marketplace has in store for us. At the end of the market, a street named Bridge Street runs north out of the square. We decide to walk down it in the hope of finding the elusive Nicodemus. Okay, so it seems that we have finished with the market, and yeah, and that was worthwhile, I guess. Any case, that was an interesting part of our adventure, but it's now behind us, and we are still on our search for Nicodemus. We are well equipped. We have enough money, I guess, 16 left. So we have bought a whole bunch of stuff. Hopefully, some of it will come in handy in the future. We just bought everything. It starts to rain, and the tumble-down houses huddled together on either side of the street look as if they need shelter themselves. Most have their windows boarded up and are empty, but the door to one flaps noisily in the wind. If we wish to take refuge in the derelict house until the rain stops, then, well, we do. We don't like getting soaked for no reason at all. So let's find one derelict house, and at the very least we're out of the rain, right? I don't think there is anybody living here, so it's not like, I don't think it's dangerous unless it crumbles on top of us. It is a gloomy house, but we can make out the shapes of abandoned furniture. Litter and rubble is strewn all over the floor. We find a broken chair and slump down in it to rest. Suddenly, we notice something slither across the floor, and before we can get to our feet, we see in the half-light that we are encircled by 6 snakes, each a meter long. Right? We could try to run for the door, but we are no cowards, and besides they might bite us at least once on our way out. Instead, let's fight them. I don't think that snakes are that dangerous. Alone they would be nothing. Well, there are 6 of them, so they might be a bit of a challenge, but let's see. Let's hack at them with our sword. The snakes are not very tough opponents for a person trained in the art of swordsmanship. I bet, I mean, we are a dragon slayer after all, and the snakes should not really pose any threat to us. We can fight them all at once. Great. However, each time they hit us, they will inflict 4 damage points instead of the usual 2, thanks to their poisonous bites. That's fair. I'd rather they don't bite us at all, and with the skill level of 5, we outskill them by 6 points, so this should be a fairly uneven fight, and altogether they have a stamina of 3, which is simply pathetic, and they go down without any issues whatsoever. Now we leave the house via the front door. Right? We leave the derelict house quickly to avoid encountering any more nasty surprises and return to the street. Outside, the rain has stopped, and we set off north again. So I guess this worked out. We got out of the rain, and we didn't get damaged by the snakes, so although we didn't really win any items or any stat boost, but at least it has worked out in our favor. Ahead, we see a wooden bridge stretching over a dirty river. Various bits of rubbish are floating down to the sea on its black surface, and we squirm at the sight of a human hand passing by. The bridge supports and columns reach high above us, and we see skulls, both human and non-human, tied to them. The wind makes an eerie noise as it whistles through the bridge structure, reminding us of tortured souls crying out for help. Almost hidden from view is a small flight of steps going down underneath the bridge from where we are standing. A one-legged man carrying a sack is crossing the bridge from the northern bank. And yeah, so garbage everywhere. These skulls, at least half of them, or almost half of them, are not human at the very least. And this poor old beggar is coming Alright, this is not a friendly sight. Let's not spend more time here than necessary. And by the way, here are the steps. Well, Nicodemus is said to be living under a bridge, so hopefully it's this one. We're gonna check it out. But let's first wait and talk to the one-legged man. He's definitely not a threat to us, so maybe we learn something. The gaunt-faced man looks thoroughly miserable. He sees us and shrinks back, telling us that it is not worth robbing him because he has no money. We tell him that we do not wish to rob him, but we are seeking an old wizard named Nicodemus. He stares at us with a surprised expression on his face and says, "For 2 gold pieces, I'll tell you where he is." Alright, still have money to burn. 16 gold pieces. Let's spend 1/8 of our current money and pay him. We decide to trust the man and pay him for his information. He definitely seems like a local. He pockets the gold and says, "You are standing on top of him. Nicodemus lives in a hut underneath this bridge," just as we suspected, or we were just told quite recently. He throws back his head and lets out a shrill laugh before hobbling off on his crutches, obviously pleased with himself. We shake our head and walk over to the steps that lead down beneath the bridge. Well, it seems that even the half-legged old men here, or people here, are scum, which should not be a surprise, to be perfectly honest, but whatever. At least we have it confirmed that the woman was right, and we should go down beneath the bridge to meet Nicodemus. Alright, this was easy. I mean, it seems that our mission is slowly getting fulfilled unless Nicodemus throws us a curveball. Let's see. The smell by the water's edge is terrible. Above, we hear the sound of footsteps crossing the wooden bridge. Built into the foundations of the bridge is a wooden hut. Drawn curtains obstruct our view into the small building, but we know we are not welcome when we read the words "Keep out" painted on the door in large red letters. We draw in a deep breath and knock on the door. We hear mutterings and the shuffling of feet, and suddenly the door is thrown open. Before us stands a white-haired old man with a long beard, wearing long white robes. He looks at us sternly and says, "Explain yourself to Nicodemus." We are elated at finding Nicodemus and tell him about Zembar Bone's reign of terror in the town of Silverton, and why Mayor Owen Caroliff asked us to find his old friend to help them. Nicodemus frowns and walks back inside his hut, beckoning for us to follow him. He sits down in a rocking chair and starts to talk in a calm voice. "I am old and tired and wish for no more adventure. I live here under Singing Bridge in Port Blacksand to escape the pleas and for aid from people fallen on hard times. Hence no one bothers me, but I do wish to help my old friend Owen. I will tell you how to defeat the Night Prince, Zembar Bone. Listen carefully." Nicodemus lights his pipe, and after a moment with it in his mouth, his eyes distant in deep thought, he exhales a billowing blue cloud and continues. "The Night Prince can only be defeated after sunset. In daylight hours he exists on another plane. No doubt he will have his servants to protect him, but should you get past them, you will need something special to deal with Bone himself. To protect yourself from his entrancing stare, you must have a white unicorn in a yellow sun tattooed on your forehead. Normal weapons will not harm him. First, you must shoot him through the heart with a silver arrow. This will paralyze him but not kill him. Then you must quickly rub the ground compound of black pearl, hag's hair, and a lotus flower in his open eyes. With luck, he will decay before you in a matter of seconds. Whereas, if your arrow misses, I am afraid you will die the moment he touches you. With this, Nicodemus taps out the ash from his pipe onto the bare floorboards. The items for the compound can be found in Port Blacksand if you search hard enough. But I regret I cannot accompany you. Nicodemus then draws you a map of how to reach, draws us a map, so Nicodemus then draws out a map of how to reach Zemberbone's guarded tower from Port Blacksand. He stands up, shakes our hand, and wishes us well. Alright? So, on the one hand, strictly speaking, our mission is complete. We have met Nicodemus and we found out how to get rid of the threat to Silverton. On the other hand, I guess our adventure is just getting started, since it seems that we are going to be the one that has to eliminate this Zemberbone character, although that's not exactly what we signed up for. This Nicodemus is quite a guy. I don't know why he's not helping at least acquiring the items, but whatever. We'll be successful, I'm pretty sure. Alright. Leaving his hut, we climb the steps and cross the bridge over Catfish River. Bridge Street continues north a short distance before ending at a junction, and we need to decide where to continue, but that is going to have to wait for another time because I'm going to make the cut of the video right here. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time when we take on the second leg of our adventure, our mission, our quest, and this clearly, obviously, the more significant part. So this seems to have only been like the tutorial or the initiation. But no matter what, we are now decided Zemberbone is going to fall by our hands, and nothing can stop us from achieving this purpose. Once again, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.